Welcome everyone. This is Mike from ZozoStockWatch.com, and this is your Let's Get Ready for the Week Ahead, January 22nd through January 26th. Well, as you can see from my SPY chart here that the markets have been and remain very strong. A couple of red candles though this week, but nothing breached the 5 EMA here on the SPY. We'll take a look at the IWM on the daily chart, and as you can see we had a nice pop here on Friday. We're still under this resistance area at around, we'll call it 159 for now. We do have a previous high here of 159.41. So, it looks like the IWM needs to get over that 159.41, 159.50 area on the IWM. That's the Russell 2000, the IWC. Also, a nice day on Friday after, kind of threatening to break this light blue line you see right here, the moving average of the 10 SMA, but basically bounced off of that and basing under that $100 level. The high here back on that Tuesday, the 16th, was $100.15. So we'll see if we can get over that for the IWC. Now there was the government shutdown, and we're going to have to see how this all plays out. And tonight, if you're around 6 o'clock, I'm making this video. Currently, the time is 2:20 p.m. Eastern time. But if you want to watch the futures tonight, okay, this is the source to go to, investing.com, and they'll have the futures. I'll probably be putting this out on my Twitter feed also, at Zozo Stockwatch on Twitter, so you could come check that out if you want to see. I'll put it out around 6 o'clock or so, and we'll see. This is the futures from Friday where they closed. Very strong market on Friday, even with the threat of the government shutdown. And then finally they did, shut the government down. So we'll see how the futures open this Sunday night at 6 o'clock, okay? Just a little talk about my service. What I'm doing right now is I have a special going on for the first month only, $44.95. You can get the first month for half price, and that includes the screen share, education throughout the day, real-time charts and alerts before they trigger. I share my trade ideas scans with you, so you'll be seeing those throughout the day. Also, we have audio news from the trade exchange put into the service, and also the visual news. So you'll all have that included for your first month for $44.95. So that's at ZozoStockwatch.com. This is my homepage, and then you can come, you click on where it says join me, and then scroll down a little bit, and that'll take you to the join me page for ZozoStockwatch.com. And let's go ahead and click that again. And there we go. All right. And then you scroll down and you'll see your first month only for $44.95 for your first month if you'd like to come and kick the tires. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll look at some news here, and we'll go more into the markets and whatnot, but let's take a look at some news that came out over the weekend and also near the close on Friday. This AVEO Oncology announces presentation of data from phase 2, so AVEO, and this once again is courtesy of the trade exchange. So here's AVEO popping. So, this one might be, giving us a continuation move on Monday, so we'll keep an eye on that. Let's see, then there was talk, government shutdown may be averted, but as we know now, over the weekend, it was not averted, so the government is shut down. It looks like, military pays the price. Their checks get stalled and whatnot, and I think the IRS is also closed, and some public parks, things like that will be closed. So we'll see how it's going to affect. Like I said, go to that site tonight, or I'll put it on my Twitter feed, and we'll see how the futures are going to open this evening, this Sunday night. Let's see, on BG there was takeover chatter Friday, so big move here in BG. Archer Daniel Midland is maybe have approached Bunge. All right, so big pop there on Archer Daniels Midland, and ADM is the symbol there. That stock also moved up, and that was Friday. So possible bidding war there also for Bunge. All right, and then we'll go into some of the news that came out on Friday. This OPTT, and this is a after hours chart you're looking at from Friday. A little bit of a pop here on OPTT. Ocean Power Technology announces adoption of new employment inducement incentive award plan. So that came out Friday after the bell. Let's see if there was anything else moving. This was more talk of the closing top inside of purchases Friday after the bell. BlackRock director purchased, let's see, over 3,000 shares, BLK. All right, so BlackRock Incorporated. So that the director there purchased over 3,000 shares. NXRT president purchased over 18,000 shares. BH director purchased over 3,000 shares there for BH. And then on some syndicate news, AP filed Form S3 offering. HBNC filed Form S3 mixed security shelf. SYRS filed Form S3. Okay, and so that's some of the news that came out over the Friday and the weekend on the inside of purchases and some offerings and whatnot. Let's go ahead and we'll go through some um, markets, and then we'll go into some more information. So, where should we start? We did the SPY. Nasdaq. You're going to see all these indices holding above the 5 EMA, very strong on the weeklies. Are we extended? Yeah, but we were extended here and we continued up. So we'll see. All right. I wish I could tell you when the market is going to pull back. My guess is, as long as we keep riding this 5 EMA, we're in good shape. When we breach that, then maybe the trend or the tone, I should say, changes in the market, and then maybe we start doing a test of the 10 or the 13 moving averages on our daily charts. But right now, very strong with the markets riding this 5 EMA on the daily charts. Same thing with the Dow Jones, very strong riding that 5 EMA. And like we looked at the IWM trying to get up above resistance here. Let's look at the IBB, the biotechs. A lot more volatility in the biotechs, even though we're right back above this 5 EMA and trying to get up over this 112 area on the IBB. XBI also back over the 5 and the 10 moving averages, has this 90 spot there on the up above, I should say. So we'll see if we can get through that for the XBI. The dollar still kind of just drifting down and down here at the lows for the US dollar. If we look at it on the weekly chart, this 23 area. We had a low here of 23.66. Friday there was a low 23.52. We're kind of holding this 23.50, so we'll see if they break this 23.50 area on the dollar. If we're going to head down more there on the U.S. dollar, the VIX. Let me show it to you on the daily chart. We've been holding 9 for the longest time, and we have rebounded. But then on Friday, they threw in the towel here a little bit on the VIX again. They couldn't get it up over this 13 spot, and then after that, you have 15 area on the VIX. But 9 has held for a while. Now we're pulling back again on the VIX, so a little more complacency there in the markets. We'll take a look at the fear and greed index, and this is from CNN Money. And I know it's a bunch of oscillators. that all combined, you can read about it here. It's the Money CNN Fear and Greed Index. Currently, we are, like I said, a bit overbought on the market, and this is showing a 80 representation of it, and so. A little bit on the greed side, okay? So the market is a little bit extended, and we'll see how that's going to play out Sunday night with the futures and with this government shutdown. So, we've been through a lot: the Trump election, the Brexit, missiles flying, over Japan, near Japan from North Korea and whatnot. And, the market has held steady throughout. But now, will the market finally, will this be the thing that pushes the market down? We'll have to see. It's been very strong, the market. So we'll find out tonight as the futures open up. Let's go ahead and look at some of the top gainers from Friday. We had Ford. All right, Ford had a nice gain Friday as they're purchasing a company, and Wall Street felt that that was a good merger. So Ford, FORD, we'll have that on our watch list also. I'll go more into that in a few minutes. So that one will be on watch. NCNA was a winner, SIEN, NSPR. ALBO, GSUM, big pop on Friday, and then some of Overstock recovered with that news that maybe Kroger is interested in them, and we actually played this for I think we played this for about $2 on Friday for a nice gainer there on Overstock Friday. And then some of your top losers: TCON, OAKS, IBM after their earnings report. GE keeps sliding down. General Electric, I believe they have earnings coming up. So, there's your losing stocks. And then some stocks that had unusual options activity, and this is courtesy of the trade exchange. This is a mailing that they do each day. And so some call activity came about in American Express, Colgate, um, GMLP, Flex, DSW, VBLT, PTCT, FCX, Freeport McMoran there, and WMGI also call activity, unusual call activity on this side, and then unusual put activity for Yandex, ACAD, and JC Penney. So that's some of your unusual call and put activity. Some stories that were in the news last week. We had Merck. All right, that stock popping up off the lows last week. Shares they surged, Tuesday on a considerable move, considering 150 billion market cap company. The company announced that its pivotal phase 3 keynote. All right, it's on Keytruda. So some news there from Merck that popped Merck up. Juno with the possible merger with Celgene, JUNO. Held most of the gains. From the pop with Celgene, so still above, holding above that 65 area. So we'll see if that merger is going to happen with Celgene. EIGR in the biotech space, that took a hit, big push down. And then that was on their phase 2 Liberty trial for the treatment of pulmonary arterial hypertension. It demonstrated no improvement. So basically, it was a failure there for EIGR. So that stock in the biotech space moved down. So there's a little color on Merck, Juno, and EIGR. And then next, we'll take a look at some stocks that are going to be reporting earnings, and there is a lot of stocks reporting earnings next week. We have before the bell, we have Wynn Resorts, WYNN. We also have Halliburton, which is an oil service sector name, HAL symbol there, PETS, PETS symbol there. So here's your companies reporting earnings before the bell on Monday. Netflix Monday after the close. So we have Netflix, NFLX symbol there. Let's see if there's any others. Steel Dynamics is listed for Monday after the bell. STLD, Ameritrade, Zion Bank, ZION. Also, they don't show all of these names on their graph here, but quite a bit of earnings. Johnson & Johnson before the bell Tuesday. Procter & Gamble, Kimberly-Clark, Travelers. So a lot of big names this week as earnings season goes out in full force. General Electric will be before the bell on Wednesday. Las Vegas Sands reporting after the close on Wednesday. Caterpillar before the open Thursday. Intel after the close. Western Digital, E-Trade. 3M, Raytheon, Biogen, Southwest Airlines, LUV symbol there. CLAC, KLA, will be reporting Friday before the bell. We have Honeywell, AbbVie, ABBV symbol there. Lear, Air Products, Gentex. So as you can see, earnings season really heats up next week with a bunch of companies coming out with earnings. And I'll leave that up for a few more seconds for you in case you want to make a copy of that. All right, can kind of do a screen copy. And now let me get it out of the way. And we'll go into our economic calendar for next week, courtesy of the Trade Exchange. So here, if you notice on this calendar, if you go to it, the tradeexchange.com calendar, if you click on where it says companies reporting, you can see the companies that will be reporting before the bell. They give you a drop-down menu. So not too much economically for Monday, the 22nd. After that, let's see, we have API crude at 4:30, a little bit of Fed speak next week at 6:30 p.m. Charles Evans. And then as we get further into the week, Wednesday, existing home sales at 10 o'clock, 10:30, oil numbers come out. Then we have nat gas at 10:30 on Thursday, 8:30, some retail inventories. Anything major? It looks like just the GDP at 8:30 and durable goods. Those will be on Friday. I guess leading indicators also is pretty big for the markets. That's 10 o'clock on Thursday. So here's your calendar of events coming up for the week ahead. And very nice job here by the Trade Exchange as they put that calendar out every week and allow us to use that in our videos with them. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of the Dow stocks real fast. We'll look at, Apple penetrating that 177, 178 area. Now it has 180 up above. American Express sold off after their earnings last week, but a little bit of a recovery there. IBM, that's also in the Dow, not much of a recovery after their earnings. It was kind of on the road to popping here on IBM. We'll look at it on the weekly, and then after their earnings report came out, that stock moved down significantly. Some of the banks still look really good. JP Morgan, Bank America, also Citigroup, all looking pretty good for the banks. XLF holding steady here above the 5 EMA on the XLF. Some stocks that have earnings. This is one, Procter & Gamble stock trying to get up over that 92 area on the Dow. UTX, a very strong stock in the Dow. Visa, very strong. I mean, it's had an amazing run here. MasterCard also, even PayPal, very strong. So all those payment services companies moving up nicely. ExxonMobil, holding up here at the 88 level, and then there's CVX also holding up very well. Let's take a look at oil. This is the light sweet crude. currently under that, we'll call it 64, 77, $65 area. A little bit of a pullback from there on oil, but a nice run here on oil. So you would expect there to be a little bit of a pullback on oil. USO, which is the ETF for oil, holding above the 10 SMA on the daily chart here on USO, so holding up well, but a little bit of a pullback from the peaks here around that $13 level for oil. Gold, after making this big move here on gold, now we're up here around this 127 area, but still holding above the 5 and the 10. If we look at it on the weekly chart, it looks like that 127 is a big spot. Then after that we have a 128.30 area for gold. So we'll have to see how that's going to play out with the government shutdown and if that's going to continue up. Silver basing under that 1625 area, 1650 up ahead. If we look at it on the weekly chart, you can see a little bit over $17 has been a resistance area for silver. SLV, SMH, breaking out on the weekly chart here on the SMH, the semiconductor names pushing higher after a little brief pause at the 50 SMA on the daily chart here, and here's the weekly chart. They came down to that trend line that we've talked about, bounced off that. They even stayed above the 20 SMA on the weekly chart, the red line you see here, but now starting to break out just under that 110 area for the SPY. Also, we'll look at MJX, which is the new marijuana ETF. So we're in this from $31 in our service. We pushed up to 39. Now we've paid ourselves on some of this, and now we've been kind of holding a longer term position. But nice bounce here off the 20 SMA for the MJX, and now back above the 10 SMA on MJX. And this is, look into this. This is a really nice holding of a lot of cannabis marijuana stocks. So if you're interested or lacking that in your portfolio, you may want to take a look at the MJX ETF there. Also came to my attention that there's some new ETFs for blockchain. And let me see if I can find them. Yeah, here they are. BLCN, all right, is a blockchain ETF, BLCN, and then the other one is Block, BLOK, transformation data sharing ETF. So if you don't know which names to play for blockchain and this new technology, you might want to take a look at the holdings in BLOK, or just take a look at the ETF BLOK for possible long or a position in it for blockchain stocks. BLOK, once again the symbol there. Some other ETFs, right? Look at this BOTS, the artificial intelligence ETF, just keeps grinding higher. BOTZ there. ROBO, which is the robotics and automation index ETF, and that keeps grinding up. So take a look at some of these ETFs now. This one is a bit extended, Robo, and also the bots is a bit extended, but you see the moves there. So this is, like I said, this is the new one that just started trading, this blockchain one. So keep your eye on that one, definitely for a possible ETF entry. I know I'll be watching it. Let's see what else. Then we have the social ETF. This is with Facebook, Twitter, Snap, and those names. So there's social. TAN is the solar ETF. Not doing too much at the moment. And then you have, let's see, what else did I want to show you? Jets, the airline ETF. All right, this came out. Let's look at it on the weekly chart. Okay, so this Jets came out in, I guess, 2015, 2016, and look at the nice run that it's had. So like I say, keep your eye on this Block, BLOK, for this blockchain technology, and the other one I believe is this BLC, JDX, the junior gold miners. kind of just basing here, pulling back a little bit. The larger gold miners not doing too much, pulling back from that 24.50 level. Apple we went over. Google, we'll take a look at Google and some of the larger names now. There's Google riding the 5 EMA. Looks like it wants to go higher. Amazon, still holding above the 5 EMA on Amazon. Facebook pulled back, but still holding above 175 and the 100 SMA on Facebook. What else? Netflix, which has earnings Monday night, holding above the 5 EMA. Tesla breaking out and looking pretty strong here on Tesla, up at that 350 level. We have a previous high from Thursday at 352.30 for Tesla. All right, so there's some stocks, some names that we went through, some ETFs and whatnot. We'll take a look at names, popular names like Twitter, pulling back from that 26 level. Shop, SHOP, holding strong. I think this is when Citron came out against Shop and made those negative comments and pushed it down, but nice recovery there, basing under this 117 on Shop. Schlumberger, which had earnings on Friday, bouncing, sold it off to 74. Now they pushed it, recovered it on Friday. Let's see, MU, Micron, looking a little on the weak side here on Micron. AMD, which we are in as a swing trade, holding up, getting back over the 200 SMA on AMD. Amgen holding up, riding this 5 EMA. Baidu holding strong, pulled back to the 5 EMA, holding that right now. Baba, basing under the 10 SMA but holding above the 50 SMA on Baba. And then lastly, let's see, we'll look at CMG, the last few names bouncing there. Costco, looks like it's getting ready for another run there perhaps in Costco. Celgene, who's interested in Juno, trying to hold this 102, 101 area on Celgene. GE, very weak, making new lows there on Friday on General Electric. We went through some of the banks like JP Morgan, Citigroup. Kroger's recovered nicely off its lows. Qualcomm with the takeover chatter around this one from AVGO. Broadcom, all right, Broadcom basing under that 270. So that's some of your names. Nike from the Dow, forgot to go over that one. Big breakout there, big push up on Nike. And then the tail of the tape, Under Armour, very weak. Skechers is looking very strong. Skechers moving up, but Under Armour is definitely hated right now. UA or UAA, whichever one you look at, looking very weak. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the stocks to watch. For next week, let's go ahead and take a look at ARNA. So this one popped, looking for it to get over maybe that 35.80 area on ARNA. ASMB, possible swing trade in this name. Here's kind of the wedge I'm looking at, consolidation. So if it can get up over, those recent highs, probably 47, keep your eye on that. ASMB, AVEO, that's the one that had the news on Friday, so keep an eye on that one. Citigroup, just the daily looks pretty good here. If it can get over, 78.50 area on Citigroup, keep that on watch. CAG, Conagra Brands, basing under 38, starting to turn the corner there. A little more conservative type of play, swing trade. So keep an eye on that. Now, we also do day trading in our service. So we're a day trading and swing trading service. So here's Cassie basing under that 410 spot. Lower volume stock, but if it can break out maybe over 410, 415, we might get some volume coming in. Day trading stock for me only. CHFS. Had almost 3 million shares traded in this stock. You see it gets these pops, so this would be possibly setting up on an intraday chart, 5-minute, 2-minute chart. So we'll keep an eye on that one. CHMA. 1.1 million shares, so possible day trade in this biotech. DSW, this looks had some call activity Friday and maybe some chatter, I think, around the name also. DSW, if you're a swing trader, watch it over that maybe 2185, 2190, or wait for the 22 break. Ford would be an intraday play that could lead to possibly a swing trade. Big pop all the way up to 450, pulls back. So this will be on a watch intraday for day trading, and then maybe a possible swing trade in that one also. FOSL, another footwear accessory, got nice volume, 5.5 million shares, came up to the 200 SMA. The high was 1024. So keep an eye on this one. If it can take out 1025, maybe a possible swing trade in that one or intraday trade. Goro, a gold stock, actually pulled back to the 5 EMA, is holding it. So we'll see on that one, maybe a possible swing trade, day trade kind of thing. Groupon. Nice pop, big volume, over 18 million shares Friday, and nice pop. So we'll look for maybe a continuation move in this, or maybe some type of red to green move. GSV, another gold stock, big pop, 2.6 million shares traded, so we'll have that one on watch. IDRA, nice pop, breaking out of this consolidation here, 2 million shares, keep that one on watch. For me, biotech, mostly an intraday trader there. IDTI, big pop. Full disclosure from the service, we're already in this one for a swing trade, 1.9 million shares. Would love this to break out over 34. There was a recent high of 33.92. And like I said, we're already in this one, so looking for the continuation. INPX. One of these small under 50-cent names, because I have some folks that like to play these. So watch it over that 44 cents for possible move there. IPCI, big pop, big volume came in this one. Biotech name. If this can get back over maybe $1, $1.02, possible intraday play on that. Lulu setting up here again, just basing under 80 here, 79.70 recent high, so maybe over 70.75 for that $80 break on Lulu, possible swing trade. Mondelez, a more conservative play, but getting back above the 200, holding above the 50 SMA. And just under the highs here, 44.18, and also we had a high here, 44.18, so maybe 44.25. Maybe Mondelez gets going for a possible swing trade setup. Altira Group. Right, you had this, wedge pattern here, moving down, breaks out, holds above 70 now, so you can play up against this 70 area on MO. So that one popped on Friday. So if you don't mind the social implications of Philip Morris and Altira, you might want to take a look at those. They pay good dividend also. So you see that big pop in Philip Morris, and then you see the pop here in Altira Group. So keep those on watch. Match. Maybe setting up for that break of 33 MTCH. I think they own Tinder also, right? If my memory serves me right. So keep an eye on this one over that 33, possible swing trade. Mule, turning back up here on Mule. So I think this is a low. Well, I had 1 million shares traded on Friday. There's a recent high here of 25.45. So maybe back over that 25.50 spot on Mule, MUL. NBEV, I feel like I kind of missed this one. I was watching it. It never did anything intraday, and then Friday, when I stepped away, they finally popped NBEV. So I don't think I'll chase it up there. 9 was Friday's EPO, NINE, Energy Services. I don't really know much about this company. Here's the intraday chart of this Friday IPO. Popped up to 29, so you may want to keep an eye on that one. Intraday, OKTA software, nice pop, 6 million shares came in. So nice expanding volume here on OKTA. ORPN, popping, flopping, but 3.6 million shares traded on ORPM. So we'll have this one on watch. And I know it's a lot of stocks now. It's impossible to watch all these, but like I said, my videos are to give you some idea generation too, and then I thin it out as I look at the charts and whatnot and the action intraday. So these are just to put some stocks on your watch, and then you can do with them as you see fit. But here's PTCT. Popping just under that 22 level. The high on Friday, 22.35. So that looks interesting. Riot may be trying to get back over the 10 SMA. We'll see. Salt, a shipper. Not too in love with this one, but you have the highs going on here, 820 area. So if you're interested in a shipper, salt looks okay. Sand, a gold stock, basing under that 525 area. SBH, this one I kind of like. If it can get up over this 200 SMA, all right, SBH Specialty Retailer, Sally Beauty Holdings. Let's see, ULTA, Ulta, that's the leader, I guess, also basing under the 200 SMH. But SBH looks a little bit more like it could possibly, push up for a possible swing trade here if it gets up over that 200 SMA. SGMO consolidating under this big pop that it had back on Tuesday, the 16th. So we'll see if this one, maybe if it can get back over 1825 or so, maybe it makes another move up. SGMO, SGYP, basing under 250. SIGO, big pop on Friday, maybe possible intraday there. SLNO, popped on Friday, 1.2 million shares intraday. SQ, basing under this 43 spot, 43.10 on SQ. VSM, chemical company, a little bit light in the volume, but over the 50 SMA. Would like to see some more volume in that one, but basing under $40 a share, the round number got as high as 40.17. WKHS, some pop here, trying to get back into the range here on WKHS, small little name. Looks like it needs to get over $3 though, so we'll see. XOG, oil and gas play, basing under 15. 2 million shares came in on Friday. YTEN, this one popped 6 million shares. Not a favorite, stuck under the 50, but another specialty chemical play. We'll see maybe intraday on that one. And then lastly, Zooms. All right, specialty retailer, turning back up, back above the 10, back above the 5. So you might want to keep Zooms on watch. Volume, though, about 240,000 shares. So we'll see on this Zooms if it wants to maybe get going for a possible swing trade. All right, so that's the stocks on watch. Hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please hit the thumbs up. Let's grow the channel.